So today we're diving into a topic that's stirring up a lot of concern: proposed changes to Social Security under former President Trump.
Yeah, and it's especially unsettling for retirees who rely heavily on those benefits to make ends meet. Let's break down what's being proposed,
One of the big ideas floating around is shifting Social Security funding away from the payroll tax model.
which on paper might sound like innovation, but that payroll tax is the core of how the program stays funded.
Exactly. If we eliminate it without a concrete replacement, we risk destabilizing the entire system.
And retirees, especially those living on fixed incomes, could end up bearing the brunt of that instability.
There's also concern about privatization. That's popped up before, letting people invest their own contributions instead of paying into the general system.
That opens up risk. What happens when the market tanks? A retiree's retirement fund could disappear overnight.
Plus, not everyone is a savvy investor. You can't expect someone working minimum wage jobs their whole life to play Wall Street.
Right. Social Security was designed as a safety net, not a gamble. Changing that foundational principle is risky business.
What's your take on the idea that younger generations might not even see benefits if changes like this go through?
It's a real possibility. If you underfund Social Security today, you're basically handing future generations an empty promise.
And I've seen people argue that the program is already unsustainable, but isn't that more about political will than actual feasibility?
Totally. Adjustments could be made, like lifting the cap on taxable income, but gutting the system shouldn't be the first solution.
That income cap is interesting. Right now, only wages up to a certain amount are taxed for Social Security, right?
Yup. So billionaires pay the same Social Security tax as someone making $160K. That's where reform could be more equitable.
But instead of tackling that, some proposals suggest cutting benefits or raising retirement age.
That's punishing the most vulnerable. Not everyone can work into their 70s, especially in physically demanding jobs.
True. There's this illusion that everyone is working in an air-conditioned office sipping lattes.
Reality check. Try telling a construction worker or a nurse to hang in there another 10 years before retiring.
And there's a ripple effect. If older folks can't retire, younger workers have fewer job openings.
It clogs the whole employment pipeline. We need to think of retirement as part of a broader economic ecosystem.
Some argue that Social Security is welfare and people should be responsible for their own savings.
But it's not welfare. Workers pay into it their entire lives. It's earned. Calling it welfare is misleading.
That narrative undermines public support, and once support wanes, politicians find it easier to chip away at benefits.
Exactly. It's like boiling a frog. Slow changes until the whole system's gone and no one noticed in time.
There's also concern that proposed cuts won't just affect retirees. They could hit disabled people and survivors too.
That's an important point. Social Security isn't just retirement. It's also a lifeline for millions of vulnerable Americans.
Stripping that away could push a lot of people into poverty, especially those who already live paycheck to paycheck.
And let's be honest, once benefits are cut, it's incredibly hard to reinstate them.
True. It's a one-way street. That's why it's crucial to scrutinize these proposals before they gain traction.
Do you think most voters understand what's at stake with these changes?
Honestly, I think many don't realize how close to the edge the system already is.
And that lack of awareness can be dangerous. Politicians can sell bad policy if no one's paying attention.
That's why conversations like this matter. It's about making sure people know what's being proposed and what it really means.
Agreed. And hopefully it encourages listeners to do their own research, ask tough questions, and vote accordingly.
Because at the end of the day, Social Security isn't just about retirement, it's about dignity.
And preserving that dignity should be non-negotiable. No one should have to choose between groceries and medication.
Well said. So if these proposed changes worry you, speak up. Contact your representatives.
Get involved, stay informed, and protect the systems that protect us.